Hi, this is Jane Gates, and welcome to my garden and my pond. I'm here from my company, Gates & Croft Horticultural Design, to tell you all about how to repot pond plants. Now, if you've got pond plants that are kind of crammed into their pots, they're getting too big, you need to give them more space to grow. So you want to repot them. Pond plants do better always in bigger pots. Let them grow out. Most of them tend to grow with long rhizomes, and that means they kind of trail along and get longer and longer. So the bigger pot you give them, the bigger your plant can grow. So if you're going to repot a plant, it's really pretty easy. First you have your pot. Make sure you have a clay soil. You can buy this directly, and if you don't have a lot of clay soil in your own property, you can buy bags of soil. This is slightly moistened, and it's really a good idea to have it moistened. If it has a few rocks in here, no biggie, doesn't really matter an awful lot. And you're going to take your cuttings, and I'm going to put a few of them in the same pot. Give them a different direction so that they can grow out. These will fill up real fast. This plant had finished blooming. You can see a lot of the foliage has died back. Doesn't look real pretty, but the roots are firm, and that's how you know you've got a good, healthy plant. If those tubers, those rhizomes are good and solid, you've got a good plant to work with. I set it right into the clay soil, and I just bury it a little bit, not too terribly deeply, just about up to the level that it was before I took it out of its previous pot. Now, what's really important at this point is you want to make sure that when you drop this in the pond, you don't get this terrible, well, all that soil goes billowing all over the place. It will to some degree, but if you put this straight in the water with nothing on the top, you're going to get mud floating into your water and just making, it will settle, but it's better not to introduce that much into your water. So I like to put a layer about an inch of gravel. Inch and a half right on the top. Now there is some sand in this, so you will see some cloud when we drop it in the water, but it's not going to be so bad that it really ruins and dirties up my water too much. If you're working with a plant like, maybe a water lily that has to go in real deep, you might want to invest in a pair of these wonderful gloves, big long gloves, so you can reach way in, right up to your armpits in the water and not get wet. In this case, this is a bog plant, so it doesn't have to go quite that deeply. And I can put it on a level that's much higher. Here are my trusty fireplace tongs. This is my nicely planted rock. Position yourself so you don't go swimming if you possibly can. Let it fill up slightly. This is where it's really helpful that your soil, your clay soil, was moistened first. And as you can see, I'm letting it fill up very slowly. And with the guidance of the tongs, I'm letting it slip to the bottom. You can see that right next door, I've recently done a much larger pot of water lilies. If you look really carefully, you can even see that's the root of the water lily. Jane Gates, and I hope you're now an expert on repotting pond plants.